Well, it was on Memorial Day weekend of this year, and I was sitting on the back porch of my brother-in-law's house, drinking a cup of coffee, and off about 60 yards off to my left, something stepped out of the woods, and I just glanced over at it, and it took two more steps, little quicker steps, and it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, roundabout, but the neighbors had all their lights on, security lights on, so you could see it. It was reddish brown. It was every bit of 8 foot, if not taller, because the grass was probably about roughly about 3.5 feet tall, and his hips were above, right to the top of the grass. And then it took off at a dead run, and it covered about 180 yards. It covered it in about 5 seconds. You could see the hair on the arms hanging down. They're about 6 inches long. When it was running, it was fluid. It was like it was standing on a railroad track, and somebody was just jerking it across both yards as fast as they could. What scared me was how fast he moved. Yes, the size. It wasn't bulky like some of these stories talk about. He was built like an athlete, not like a bodybuilder. But he was incredibly big, though, in proportion to his size. What scared me the most was, I just sat there on the porch in shock. I couldn't even move. But anyway, he was, the 2 or 3 days prior, my wife and I would sit out in the backyard. We would watch these fawns over in the next yard, and they would come out to the tree line in the neighbor's yard, and then they would leave and they come back in the evenings. And my wife and I would just watch them every day. And that's where this creature was running, straight across both yards. And but anyway, I was a skeptic, as I've always thought there may be something to people's stories, but I don't think I really believed it until I saw it. And it just, right now, I can't explain how fast they are. And I hear people saying they've had them run beside their cars in some reports and things like that, and I can believe it. If they want to let you go, if they don't want to catch you, they're going to let you go, because they could chase a car down. And as far as deer goes, they have no problem catching deer.
When you said it ran earlier, describe how it ran.
It was, you could see his knees. His knees were coming up to the top of the grass. And you could see his legs. He was tilted forward. He ran sort of like tilted forward. And you could see his legs moving so fast, but there was no bobbing up and down. His head did not bob, his shoulders didn't bob. It was smooth. And it was like he's running in place, yet he was on rollers and sliding across 2 yards. And I still think about it today. I play it in my head, and I still count off how many seconds. I've been out in my yard, and I would mark off the distance. I can't believe something can cover that much. That many yards in the amount of seconds that it did. And so if I were sitting there and this all happened and I was looking at my coffee, if I would have never looked up, it could have cut across that both yards without me even seeing it. So I guess I was lucky that I actually looked up. But I wonder if he knew I was there, because I didn't have a porch light on. I was sitting in the dark, but it was illuminated by all the security lights. And but when it ran to the outside of the security lights, right? You know, when the lights hit the ground, he stayed in that area. He did not like come out into the bright light. And
Great, thank you.